Hello, hello. It's been a while. Here we go. Playing the Beastmen, which I think is a mistake. I should definitely be playing a favorite faction like Chaos Dwarves. I like the Beastmen, but very micro-intensive, and my wrists don't like them. So probably a mistake, but we'll see. They're pretty low on the leaderboard. That's probably, I mean, on the stats page. So that's kind of what influenced my decision a little bit. I mean, we got here Beastmen over here at 42%, which is very surprising to me, but I guess they are very hard to play. So you know. But here we are. Here we are. Let's get things going here. We have how many signups? Pretty good amount of signups. Let me check. I think like 20 something. Yeah, 31 people. We're up to 31. Very nice. Okay. So let me start things going. Let me get things going. Give it a second or two for people to check in on the off chance that I'm missing anybody. SFTs. Okay, everybody got their stuff going. All right, I'll let maybe I'll put like 2 minutes, give like 2 more minutes just to let people check in on the off chance that they missed out. Like we got Dan again, Blake, Dr. Jellyfish, Christoph, and Giffy. Who possibly can check in there. Got a message there. Hey, can I have a question? Can you add me to the tournament, or is it too late? Pretty sure I can add them before we check in, right? Before they start the tournament, and then have them check in. I check them in manually myself. Pretty sure. I've done it before, I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure I can do that. All right, edit tournament. I'm pretty sure should be fine. All right, here we got the old ones, demand an SFT. We are going to see about, let's see, what is their name? Just need to check in. For Poland. Oh. I feel like I've noticed this player. Right. How do I do it again? Let me see. Pretty sure. I can't remember how you choose to do it. I don't want to mess anything up. I can't remember. I think it's their tournament ID. I think it's like their webpage ID. There we go. For Poland. Let me see if I can find them. It's like their total tavern ID. Yeah. 1315. All right. Don't let me go. Okay. Should be good to go. Okay. Now. Is the bracket on yet? No, not just yet. Give me 1 second. We're about to get things going. I just was adding somebody in. How do I do it again? Let's see here. For the freaking. One second, everybody. What is it? 2041, I think it's something like that. Hmm. What do I have it set to? Let me get this sorted out real quick. We'll get right going. Must have been around forever. Yeah. I remember playing against him a long while ago. Okay, let me see about checking them in. I knew that name was similar. All right, should be good to go. Possibly. Let me check. Poland. One more second. If I cannot add them in, I will just move on. Don't want to make sure it takes too long. Sometimes, you know, people will miss out. That's all. That is the nature of the beast. All right, we should be good to go now. Yeah, I got them checked in. Awesome. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Let me refresh the page and then we'll start. Yeah. Got you in, check for me, and let me see what Poland says. Attorney. Okay, they're in. All right. Generate bracket. All right, everybody should have their rounds. I'm up against Dizoni 16. All right. I was just testing some stuff against AI. It's been a while since I played Beastman. And actually, I don't even remember the last time I played Domination. Like, I think it's been like over, well, a year plus. So, myself, I think Turn's been like getting me back into it. Like, just watching his streams again. Like, I stopped playing quite a long time ago. I've been playing mostly land battles. So, pretty nice. Let's see, got a message request from Dizoni. KKK. So it should be nice to play once again. Why did I say... I'm so used to, I need spec slots. I put leave spec slots open because I'm so used to like streaming or rather casting nowadays instead of playing. Let me see here. They are DOC. I am Beastman. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at the first maps we have. Ben, let's check out what map I feel like playing on. Blazing Ramparts, maybe not. Yeah. All right. Oh, they're a rat player. Cool. Cool. All right. Yeah. So I am Beastman. Clear this out. I'm sure I'll do a horrid time as the Beastman while also attempting to cast. But you know, it is what it is. Let me do this. I shall. Let's play Celestial. Okay, sounds good. Celestial Lake. Now, okay, pretty open. You got the 3 points, one on each player's home objective, and then we have one surrounded by like these little Cathian monuments. Not really, but like it has like a single little dragon monument right there, and then you can go like around. Pretty good map by Sunshine, or not. They used to be called Medley. I don't think they're called Sunshine now. I don't remember, but it's a pretty awesome map. It used to be one of my favorites when I used to play still. All right, let's get that blocker up. Pretty solid block. Hey, Dread, my opponent literally doesn't exist on Discord at all. Turn server nor general Discord for some reason. Their name on Total Tavern might be different from what it is on Discord, as it didn't, you know, change automatically with when Discord changed names and stuff. So if nobody messages you, just post in the Find Your Opponent chat. If nobody messages you, then let me know in like 10 minutes or so. I might be in my game, but you'll get your buy. So don't worry. If it's 10 minutes passes, nobody messages you, you haven't got your game started, don't worry, you get your buy, even if your opponent messages you 12 minutes later or 15 minutes later. I mean, if it's like 12 minutes, you know, give them a little leeway, but yeah, nobody should be waiting 12 minutes to have to message you. Okay, so Demons of Chaos, I feel like this is gonna be a pretty big struggle. Let me see here. I think I'm gonna go with this. Little sneaky this, a little sneaky this. Unfortunately, I hate to go with this guy because they're just so... they're used too often, but what can you do? Get that. Gotta go with that, I think. I'm thinking. As for how Doc plays into this, I'm gonna get a lot of these guys, particularly. Man, I wish that unit wasn't bad, but it is, unfortunately. I don't think this is gonna be... it might be okay here. I don't think it has regen, right? It doesn't. So... I can go with a little bit of that. I'm trying to think of what Doc brings nowadays. Hard thunk. I'm thinking. On the off chance that there's Chaos Warriors, I'm gonna need some AP, right? Some AP. So, bring some of these bad boys. I think one of these will be okay. Let me bring another of this. Generally, I think these guys will be pretty good into a lot of what they bring. Bring some range components. It's been a pretty while, but I think I should be okay. Maybe we'll see. Whoa. I just noticed I'm missing something very dire. Wow. Could be bad. That could have been bad if I forgot to bring those. Bring one of those guys. Bring some more of these. I think this is a mistake, not doing this. All right. It'll be okay, I think. Maybe need one more of this. Thanks to my opponent for being a little patient. Appreciate it. Doing my best here. Maybe I don't need these guys. Maybe it would be better just to go like this. We'll see how this goes. Oh. That's a mistake. Hold on. Sorry about that, opponent. I almost let, like, pretty good chunk of money go. Sorry about that. OP. Cheers and good luck in your games, guys. Thank you all for watching. Alright, should be a pretty tough, I think. But we'll see. Now, here's the mistake I made earlier on, was that I think maybe only bringing one Great Weapon Minotaur is a bad decision. But I did it. And I also brought a Jabber Scythe. Does magical attacks and very good against infantry, hard to shut down, got 15% missile resistance. It's a nice leadership bomb. that paired with Doom and Darkness. So hoping to put some demons into disintegrating pretty quickly. But I imagine maybe a lot of chance my opponent brings like Doom Knights or something, that they could be pretty deadly, could be pretty good at stopping Jabber's Lives. Though the issue with flying units like that, their models tend to get stuck. They sometimes just don't attack. So I'm relying on that. I'm relying on the bugginess and jankiness of flying units. But they have other capabilities. I mean, 15% missile resistance isn't much. It helps, but it isn't much when it comes to like 6 blue horrors shooting at it. Or like, say for example, a Soul Grinder. Soul Grinders could be pretty deadly against it. So taking a pretty big gamble with the Jabber's Life, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Got to test things out when you're playing factions you're not typically used to. I've played them a few times in land battle, but not so much in Dom. I'm going with something more, trying to play a little bit more mobile factions because mobility is just extremely strong in Dom. So, see how things go. Again, sorry for the late start. But hopefully people's games are getting underway soon. Just like mine. Alright, gonna need to pause that. Got a Mr. Malagora here with quite a few shields and beastmen to fend off the massive waves of blue horrors. And Malagor is just too good, unfortunately. I didn't want to use him because everybody uses him, but at the end of the day, like, he's just too good here against Demons of Chaos and Tzeentch and all those type of units. You know, I'm thinking about it. I kind of didn't need AP because I was thinking, for some reason, with DOC, I was thinking of, like, a mono god faction like Tzeentch because they have, you know, they have Chaos Warriors. Demon factions don't. They just pretty much rely on no armor and a lot of physical resistance. So bringing AP into this was a pretty big mistake on my part. But you know, some units have AP. I mean, some units have a lot of armor, like Doom Knights, and what else am I thinking? Skull Crushers, etc. So Blood Crushers. Yeah. Oh no, my Minotaur didn't save. That's fine. That's what happens sometimes whenever you yeah. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, got some of these bad boys here too. They should theoretically do pretty good. Right. Got some more Sentis as well in the back line. Alright, we should be good. Got the Jabber's Life. Message my opponent. And let's get things started. Obviously, you want to keep these guys somewhere around here so they can start capturing that point. But let's see what we got here. We got a Herald of Tzeentch, which is blue fire and pink fire. Pink fire is going to be extremely good here against the Beastmen. Got a whole bunch of Plague Bearers and an Exalted Flamer, so some Bloodletters, and then pink horrors too. Very good, very good. Pretty good here. Pretty good. This is a reason why he's just so good here. It's because of that particular reason. He is...
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Use those guys to chase away there. Jabber's Life is doing pretty good there. Doing pretty good. Should get there in the back line. Oh, I did bring my Minotaurs. Okay, good. I don't need them fighting Bloodloaders, to be honest, but it's 100% worse if I'm having them fight Bloodloaders, but... Have this keep chasing the Exalted Flamer. Jabber's Life should do okay there with support. On the off chance that the Rot Flies land, which theoretically they shouldn't. Okay. This should theoretically do pretty good there. Pretty good. Need to get back there and support my fellow dudes. My dudes. Hold on. Actually, I'm about to play a little sneaky play here. Maybe. Hold on. What happened here? Hello? There we go. Perfect, perfect. It worked. Okay. Sneaky little trapses. They don't unfortunately work, but that's fine. Malagor is a tough fellow. He'll be fine. It may look scary for him, but he's fine. Seems like we're doing pretty okay here. I need some more bodies here. Bring in some more Zangors. Zangors will trade fantastically into Pestigors. These guys, this guy can go over their support there. Fall for my tricksy little traps. No, they won't. Maybe. My tricksy little traps. You know, Malagor may die here, but that's perfectly fine. His sacrifice is worth it. Oh, that hurts. That's a pretty good third army ability. Third tier army ability. Best part for me is I won that battle. Ouch, that hurt. That Malagor did survive. I'm gonna send some Razorgors in, why not? Don't actually need them, but... He did get Malagor. It's perfectly fine. They perfectly surround him. Love me some cheap beastman infantry. Turns out the Jabberslack did pretty good there. Pigs! The pigs! Oh, squeal! Squeal into the plague toads. Deadly fight. Deadly fight. What a fight. Good fight, good fight. Beeman versus Doc. Was a good brawl. Message request from Chopra on Disney Center, so you can drop them brilliant by the round. Brenataki versus Bosnian 89. Okay. Version issues might be running late. See how things are doing. All right, for the okay, so we have some admin to do. Gonna drop this person, Bosnian 89. All right, drop them. One O for Beastman. Ain't you too shabby there? Thought it would go a lot worse. Demons. They literally just called Chaos Demons. I guess so. All right. Let me give Renataki that point. Taki's deserving of a said point. Renataki, where are you at on the list here, my friend? What am I even searching for? There's a, there is a Control F. Silly goof. Okay, Renataki guy is Swiss. Okay, sweet. They're Swiss, excuse me. Their victory point. They said one person is running late. Let's check some values here while people are finishing their games. We have 1206 on Malagor, pretty good there with the Flocks of Doom. 1145 on the Jabber's Left. Just as I imagined, it would do pretty good. The AP is kind of wasted, obviously, generally because Plague Bearers, Bloodletters, etc. They all have pretty much like zilch in terms of armor. Like we're talking like less than 40 majority of the times throughout the Demons of Chaos roster. But that's not what matters. What matters is that it's still an incredibly good monster infantry clear and ranged infantry clear. Has magic attacks, which bypass all the physical resistance of the Demons of Chaos roster, and has some missile resistance as well. Pretty good there. And can Demons of Chaos? I'm thinking about it now. I think they're immune to fear and terror. So theoretically, the terror doesn't work there, but still helps. They do massive. They take leadership penalties for massive amounts of damage and stuff. 1191 and 1357 on both the Sentis. They did pretty great. Though they theoretically lose to what does it say? The Sentis of throwing axes have barriers. What? 1380 here on the Minotaurs. They got some pretty good value from fighting the Plague Toads and Rot Flies. But yeah, the Sentis, despite knowing that they will lose to Seekers, they still have the numbers advantage because Seekers cost more, so you can shovel out more Sentis and you can help screen them, the Seekers, out with some Bestigors, some Ungors, chaff. Bloodletters did pretty good, a lot of value, a lot of kills on the demon units, but not a lot of value because Ungors aren't worth anything. 1914 there on the Plague Drones, pretty much we're just poking away slowly at the Jabberslythe, at Malagor, and at the Minotaurs with those AP missiles. Pretty good. But yeah, and they're pretty decent fighters as well once they actually get to combat. But I was able to surround them, luckily, with Sentis and Minos. Pretty dang good. The flu in the tourney has an uneven amount of players. Good night, Lamau. Head. Lord Grey is out. Hope you feel better. All right. Let me check the brackets. Make sure how things are holding up. See how things are holding up. All right, let me close these so there's no finicky issues. All right. So, Grombrindo winning theirs against Apostate Prostate. Berserk doing great there against Alric Raw. But that was a fantastic match between these two masterclass players. Cowboy Bop beating Mr. Gray from the Rat Clan. Real Kitty doing pretty good. I saw them, what was it, in the tournament from yesterday, doing fantastic as well in Turin's tournament. Martin back at it again, brawling. Pontus takes their match. Tom up with Bear Black. Phoenix takes theirs. Rapolan loses theirs against Farah. Renataki gets a bye round, and we're just waiting for Circia and Archrain. All right. I will message Nerexa. Let me know when done. But let's look at the tournaments, or rather the factions we have showed today. Oh, actually perfect timing. As soon as I messaged Circia, their match finished, so. But yeah, we got a pretty good diverse amount of factions. Let's see here. So we got Warriors of Chaos, Empire, Khorne, Tzeentch, got a lot of demons. And Chaos Divided. With Nurgle, some Dawi, some Wood Elves from Grombrindo, which is strange. And Dinos as well. Cowboy Bop repping those Dinos, heck yeah. Olin repping Nurgle. Adam on Khorne. Got a lot of demons today. This is pretty heretical. A heretical tourney we got going on. Where's all the faith in Sigmar and the faith in the old ones? All right, advancing the Swiss. Moving on to round 2. Around goblins. Message to the goblins, the fiends. I am up against, let's check it out. We got Martin. It's been a while, Martin. I last played him in Land Battle. It's been a while, my friend. Let's check it out. Making sure here. Making sure this is the correct Martin. There's quite a few Martins in this world, surprisingly. How do so many people have the name Martin? It's strange. Strange indeed. Oh no, it's a Beastman mirror. Mirror matches are always so fun. So fun indeed. See if Martin already has a lobby up. Seems so. Have a lobby up. All right. Let's check out the maps. What maps did I list here? We got Outdoor Farmland, which I haven't seen quite yet. Urgut's Stomping Grounds and Whirlwind Maelstrom. all three kind of fairly open. I'm not sure what would be best for... It doesn't matter, because we're both beastmen. I'd say what would be best for beastmen, but we're both beastmen, unfortunately. Let me see if I can get a lobby up if, on the off chance he doesn't have one. Got us some domination. All right. I think my opponent is dropping. Oh yes, your Lord Grey. I forgot to drop him. My bad. Let me do that. AP, thanks for letting me know. Sorry about that. I forgot. I will, in that case, play against Archtrain if Archtrain doesn't have an opponent, which I don't think he does. Yes, Archtrain doesn't have an opponent, so go ahead and play against them. I'll fix that in the bracket. Yes. What I meant to say was like if Archtrain, if you guys hadn't played before, is what I meant to say. Which I don't think you guys have. Yeah, you played against a real kitty previously, so. So against Archtrain, we shall put KP 147. And we shall drop the Lord Grey. Save that. Drop the... move them from that match into the other. Then drop the Grey. Reload. You guys are good to go now. Let me drop Mr. Grey. Wonderful. Yes. Okay, wonderful. You guys sort that out. Awesome. Yes, Martin did have a lobby up. Wonderful. Who is the top between us two, Martin? Okay. That there. It's a good sport. Always enjoy playing against Martin. I used to play against them when they were fresh into the Total War community long ago in Dom. Very good player. Fun to play against. All around good person. So I look forward to our match. Though do not look forward to a mirror match. Let's do Urguts. Let's do a good Urguts. I should have saved that. This is an old one. Never mind. It's good. Let us put up the blocker of the browser. Cheap viewers, huh? That's awesome. I love cheap viewers. Who doesn't love a cheap viewer? Make sure to... Okay, wonderful. All done there. Oh, let me make sure that... Which is all good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Wonderful. All right, so up against the Beastmen, we have to have but fun, right? Just some fun. Maybe some... I think I know what to do. I think I know what to do. What I wanted to do earlier, which was bring some truly dreadful units. I love dreadful, don't we? Okay, that's pretty good. I wonder, yes I do. Maybe put these guys in the... There we go. For fun, let me bring out... Let me bring one of these. 2 of these, maybe. 3 of these. Yes, let's have some fun. Why not? Gonna need one of these guys. One of these guys, little fellows. What's truly gonna be good here? Possibly... this spell, maybe? Yep. Let us fight, shall we? I can maybe upgrade one of those? No, I can't. Okay. That's perfectly fine. Get one of these bad boys. We just go all in on those guys for fun. Why not? How many of those can I get? Not too many. Okay. Yep. This is gonna work for sure, right guys? No, maybe I shouldn't bring one of those. Maybe I should bring one of these bad boys. And... that's fun. That's fun. I think that's pretty fun right there. Alright, we should be good to go with this Haggard build. Certainly some trickery afoot. We're definitely not going to lose with this build, that's all. Nope. We were supposed to play Urgits, but we'll see if Martin keeps it on farmland. It's fine either way. It matters not to me in this matchup. All right, all right, all right. Make sure there's no admin issues. I think we're good to go. Oh, Adam, somebody messaged me. Let's see. Adam said that their opponent hasn't responded. Um. We're good to go. I was eager to try farmlands and Urgut, so it matters not which one is chosen. State dropped. Okay. I think. Oh. Yeah, I forgot to drop apostate apostate. Oops, that was my bad. Sorry about that, Adam. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you. Pretty good blocker, isn't it? The monkeys over there in the Empire. Alright, so 2 drops so far. Not too bad, not too bad. We should be good for the rest of the games. Alright, yes, so let's go over this magnificent build. We have Morgor Shadowgrave. Typically not Shadowgrave, not typically not my number 1 choice, but he is fun. That is for sure. He is fun. Pretty durable. He's got regen. He's got his chaos spawn summon and the one that emanates from an opponent unit dying nearby, an enemy unit dying nearby. It's be pretty fun. So I got a bunch of gore herds as well. They should do pretty good if Martin brings a bunch of Ungors. They should absolutely have a field day with Ungors. But if not, if my opponent say brought to like Bestigors or something, oh boy, not gonna be a fun time for me. But let's see, we have some more here. I should immediately capture these points and have a good time. Obviously, probably want to send some infantry over here, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to place all my bets there. I don't even need my senties, actually. What am I thinking about it? Gonna keep pushing, I think, around this way. Watch my opponent, like, flank, like, around me. That would be funny. Something like that, maybe. Something like that. Wait, do these guys not? Is this a vanguarded point and this isn't? What's going on here? That's weird. I think it's... Oh, it's because I was selecting Morgor. That's why. And the Berry Shaman. Maybe I could keep a Spearman back here. Yes. Sounds good to me. We spin Spearman back there to capture the point. Keep these there as well. And we should be good to go. Let my opponent know. Ready, gonna go on. Let me do this. Oh, this is supposed to, yeah, just keep this over here. Oops, forgot to capture my points. Stay there. Really summon out some pigs. Okay. I'll take a pig fight. What I will not do is... Oh, the spearman can stay there. I'm going to bring in some raiders to start shooting at those minos. Fortunately, I think those are great weapons. So, not going to be great for me. Where's the Chaos Spawn summon? Let me bring in some more of these guys. Okay, should be doing pretty good there. We're gonna go and capture this point. If my opponent isn't noticing. That was unfortunate. It was quite unfortunate indeed. Should probably get that out as soon as possible. Unfortunately, that is not going well for me, but that is fine. Can I get the points for that? It's pretty expensive. It's pretty expensive. I don't think I brought any minos either, so I'm gonna have to rely perfectly on that for any of my anti-large needs. Have to unsummon those guys. Gonna get those guys to start shooting again. Gonna need that popped. It's gonna be pretty expensive, but once it actually does come in, does it have a Vanguard? I don't think it does. Okay. I don't think I have a... What is the upcast? Oops. 18? Yeah, I don't think he's gonna survive that long. Unfortunately, I think things aren't going too well for sure. Get some gore herd out. Can I catch the dreaded man himself, the Azuract One Eye? No, I can't, so let's go around. Not worth it at all over there, but maybe I'll get in range soon. Gors are having a terrible time. Really terrible time. This guy is struggling quite a bit. It's a lost cause, I think, but you know, should be fun nonetheless. You know, I paid the troll toll a little bit here, bringing a bunch of chaos spawns which I didn't end up even using. But you know, that's fine. That happens. It happens to the best of us sometimes. My opponent with a Mino bus. I brought in no Minos. So Break Scream kind of sucks. I kind of wish I brought a Biotide instead. Yeah, that is it. That is the gist of it. You know, you tried your best blood brute. Maybe it would have been better to have you in the starting army. But it's okay. It's okay. Fun. Do, 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 do. All right, let me fix some Swiss points here for Adam. Yes, because he gave them 2 Swiss points, so let me fix that. I'll leave them with Kazarak. That's exactly what I wanted originally. Let me check to make sure something real quick here with the points. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, let's look over the values here. Some truly awful values, I imagine. 960, 629, not too bad here. Definitely a lot worse. Yeah, the Gorhord got absolutely massacred. My God, the Mino bus ran over this Gorhord like nobody's business. And unfortunately, that's all I brought for infantry, pretty much. As you can see with the Vanguard army and the reinforcements. Should have been, would have had a better time with just Ungors at that point. But I was not thinking of the Mino bus and was thinking of Chaos Spawn bus myself. I should have just did that initially, which is go a bunch of like Ungor spears and then a bunch of Chaos Spawn, but they would still would have lost. Would have held longer because they're unbreakable, but they would have lost. But yeah, those Ungors got absolutely destroyed. I imagine the Minos did fantastic. 1196, 740. Not that bad. I mean, obviously they're up against Ungors or Gores, so it's not like a massive amount of value that they can get from them. So it's not like proof to the picture, but it, I think I had to do it a lot as well was terror, which doesn't. I think they do fear or terror. I can't remember. I think it's fear, which doesn't show up on gold value. So they brought out they did a bunch of damage in the initial shock charge, and then fear kicked in as well. So a bunch of leadership crashing on the Beastman side, which isn't implicated enough in gold value, but they stood pretty good. 1196 again, as I said, and 740 on the butchers, which are very durable with their regen. Which these guys would have Blood Brute would have done great against him because he has flaming attacks. I believe I could be wrong. Let me check that. Does not. Just because they're blessed by corn does not mean they have fire attacks. You silly goof. But yeah, I mean, still. Bloodbeard would have been great against both of them because they're not the anti-large variants. They're the shield variants. So. But yeah, I don't think. My dogs will sing the song of their people. I apologize greatly. My God, isn't it just wonderful having a husky? Okay, let's see the rest of the brackets, make sure that we're good to go. All right, the rest of the bracket is good. We're just waiting for Archrain and KP, the last two. And then we'll get things going. We should be good to go soon. Berserk doing great. 2 Swiss points. Martin at 2. Circia at 2 as well. And Pontum is Claw at 2 as well. Opal Bear doing pretty good as well. We done reporting score? Okay, sweet. Thanks for letting me know. My dogs have stopped singing the songs of their people. I'll just tell Martin, yeah, I kind of do really wish I had those spawn in the first army. Alright, reporting their score. Let me wait for that and we'll advance to Swiss. Throw that up there. Check here. Alright, overall though, pretty fun. Loving the Beastman. Loving the Beastman. Though I wish I kind of didn't throw against Martin. I'm thinking about it. I just... How can you not have fun in a mirror? How can you not have fun? Waiting for that score to report. Because nobody likes mirrors, but yeah, so you have to at least have fun with it, right? Go Mino bus, maybe go spawn bus. Let's see what Berserk and them are playing. Let's see, Our Crawl won theirs against Poland as well. Just having them earlier, but I think he kept getting knocked over. Yeah, I tried summoning the spawn like once or twice before it finally came out, but I think he kept getting like knocked over or something. Awesome. We'll advance to Swiss. Should be good to go now. Poland, unfortunately, with the bye round, but you know. All right. Thank you, KP, for reporting that score. I'm up against Tommy Nay. Tommy Nay. Whoever is that. See, Tommy... Is it Rat Tommy? Yeah. Let's do that. Look at this lobby up. Who is up top? Tommy is up top, so they get to make the first ban. Or rather, they get to make the map ban. Maps are, let's take a look. Vitrifying Carcass, Graveyard of Altdorf, and Temple of Ursurian. Rude. They banned Carcass. No, I wanted to play on Carcass. Yeah, it was such a cool map. What faction they are, so we can decide on what map. If I'm correct, Temple of Assyrian is down here. Let's check this out. Yep. I like that one. Not fair. They're not a fan. Alright, we're doing Graveyard of Altdorf. Been a while since I've played Graveyard, before it was updated, so decided to throw it in. See how this goes. That blocker up. Wrong one. Alright, so Beastmen against Warriors of Chaos. Let me try to think of what to expect here. Part of me wants to bring that guy. Part of me wants to bring this guy. I'm gonna bring this guy. That sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. So what can we expect here? Marauders or Chaos Warriors? What can we expect? It's a good question. Good question. Bring one of these. Now, what am I going to be bringing there, though? Probably... yeah, probably this and that. Maybe even that, just for the fun of it. Just 'cause I think it would actually be pretty good. As for the rest of the domino set, I think just a bunch of these is perfectly fine. Don't need too much there in regards to that. Bring two of these is okay. Obviously, got to bring some of these. Heck, maybe even bring... maybe even bring one of these. I'm not entirely sure. I've heard these guys can be pretty good. Maybe... Maybe I can go with the initial build that I saw before. We'll have to sacrifice here. What would I have to sacrifice? I think that's not negotiable, unfortunately. I think it's pretty non-negotiable. I could probably move this guy here. Maybe get another one of... maybe get one of these. Isn't too bad of a choice. Hard sell, hard sell. Okay, this is tough. This is tough for sure. Okay, I think I know. I think I have an answer too. I think I for sure have an answer or two. Yeah, that could be pretty good. I'm gonna need one of these to... I think why not? Should be good. Yeah, we finish at the same time. That's cool. That's neat. That's neat. Perfect. Let's get rid of this blocker here. I'm not sure what this matchup is like. Let's check the... What is this gift that they sent me? It's just a bunch of, like... shirtless men running at me. Alright. Don't seem to be any admin issues at the moment. Perfect. Just the way I like it. But yeah, last time I played on this map, there was a whole forest here that kind of separated. That like kind of was in the line of this. So like no cannon fire could really get through. And you had to fight for the 2 points on the outside and make their way to the center point through the forest with like infantry or whatever. Or through these little choke points, which are pretty deadly because they're very tight little choke points here. And these statues provide a little bit of cover. It's pretty nice. Nice little statue of Mr. Sigmar himself, Sigmar Odinhammer. And then there's that fiendish ghoul off over there on that statue. Some vampires occupying that most likely. Got to get rid of them here soon. Call up the state troops. I guess some foul trickery is soiling the graveyard of Altdorf. We will get a single to here, some units there to maybe possibly hold off. Maybe actually send these guys over here to... Capture that point, capture one over here, and then capture the center one as quick as possible. And these guys up straight the middle. Ungors. All right. So we got Mr. Thorax of Brass Bull, and we have Vorbagland Brood Mother, another Jabberslife, but the RR variant. Has Armor Sundering, just to deal with any Chaos Warriors, magical attacks if it's needed. I don't think it will be typically. But it also has the Aura of Madness, a little Mortis engine, and then Searing Bileblood, which is another like AoE effect that happens every so often on its own. But I am good to go. All right. Do this, do this, do this. Maybe let's do this all over. 3, 4, 5. Some Ungors going already. Start to screen those guys out a little bit. What is that, a Hell Cannon? That is a dreaded Hell Cannon. Yes, that is. Yes, sir. All right.
it from the foe.
Escape, you must. Through the forest. Ah, the typical line of code. Oops, didn't mean this. It's fine. You know, Torox may have found us in a tough situation. Tough situation indeed. Oh, you know what I forgot to summon? My caster. Don't we all love casters? That would have been nice to have out earlier, but it's fine. Face him down, you fools. I think you withdraw your guy anymore, right? Forgot about that change long ago. Clean up that. Bring in some more throwing axes. Yes, indeed. Perfect, perfect. Nice. Well played. Beastman versus Warrior Chaos. Alright, that was a pretty solid match. Pretty solid round. I'm sure I went silent there for a little bit. I can't recall. I kind of locked in. Let's see here. Killed Torox. I might have just... I'm surprised he lived so long. He was a adorable little fellow there, wasn't he? I thought he would... I was really surprised Torox still lived by the end of that. That I was able to manage to slip him out of there. My god, that was frightening. It was surrounded by like two Hellstriders and freaking Archaon. Archaon was whooping his butt. That was so scary. That could have been so much worse. But that was a really tight fight. Damn, that was really good. Let's go over the values really quick. Actually, let me check the bracket, just so I'm not keeping people waiting. Okay, yeah. So I'm the only one so far that has completed their match. That was a very good match. One of the best ones yet. Finally getting some wins under my belt after so long. Let us check. Okay, let's check the values here. Torox, yeah, absolute freaking madman. The mad cow leading the army and grabbing Archaon by his freaking horns. This ain't going down like this, Torox said. 2042. That is absolutely insane. Look at Arcan. 2021. Pretty even. Wow. I mean, just a tad bit more on Torox. Just really kind of proves who really dominated that game. That was Torox, the freaking brass bull. I almost went with a generic Doom Bull as the Lord. But nope. Got to bring that brass bull. But no, I don't know how he lived through that. He is absolutely insane. Nutty. My God, that is the man right there. Torox the Brass Bull. Zentis did middling, but this one did fantastic at 1172. Man, that was tough. I was scared about that Hell Cannon. The Hell Cannon I imagine did pretty 551. Okay, not too bad. Not too oppressive. 1187, 1050. Okay, it was pretty oppressive, but like as in like in terms of value, it didn't do all that great, luckily. Thankfully. But Warriors Plus Tommy did pretty good at defending it. I was finding it pretty hard to get to it, but eventually I managed to slip away with the Jabberslife and crush it, which the Jabberslife did 965. Didn't do too great, ended up dying in the end, but it was a great distraction card effects and provided that nice armor sundering, and that like bile AoE thing was pretty nice. Helped bring down Archaon a bit and some of those Forsaken, which I did not expect. I should have thought about Forsaken, but it's fine. The Piggies were there to save the day. Piggies did fantastic. 85 kills, 622 value. Okay, not fantastic, but they still did pretty good. And same with the throwing axes. They had a pretty good day with the Forsaken, as Forsaken are somewhat decently armored at 85 or so. So definitely did not forget my caster. Was definitely a tactical decision to not bring him in until like 5 minutes into the game. No way did I forget about him. Nope. Definitely totally used to having my caster in the second army, 1239 and 351. But I had to definitely had to bring the ROR variant. Was not going to settle with the generic. Everything else, 1239. On the Corn Wars are still great. They're trading decently with the Chaos Warriors at Halberds and trying to chase down the Hellstriders. Even helping bring down Archaon, too. 1084 in those guys. Yeah, didn't even have to bring in my Minotaurs. Didn't need them. Chaos Knights were okay, but I trapped them real good with that Mel cost. And then with the minus 30 armor on top of that, helped slowly whittle them down. Good fight. Good fight. Torox, the reigning champion, was pleasing the Dark Gods even further than Archaon could. Solid fight all around. All right. Let us check the brackets. So we have a few matches coming in there with Grombrindo winning theirs up against Farah, Willamos winning theirs against Renataki, Pontims winning their match against Real Kitty. So Real Kitty dropping their first game, I believe. So they won both their initial ones, but they finally dropped theirs against Pontims. Martin and Berserk. Sure, that's a pretty good match. We'll see how that goes. Serki up against Opal Bear Black. Cowboy Bop against Alric. Got Adam against F5 Ricochet. Jay Phoenix and Zahard. Tom against Archrain. We're pulling out, unfortunately, with the bye round. I feel for them. KP and Zani. Sure, they're going at it. And Unami. I'm not going to pretend to try to say your name. Enjoyer. Yep, Unami Enjoyer. There we go. Umami Enjoyer. Got it. I knew it. Okay. Umami is incredible. Okay. Fallen in a fan of your name is now Freon. Like the stuff you put in your car. That is it. AC. Fallen Freon. But otherwise, make sure for Poland they probably got a buy point. All right, they probably didn't get a buy point. Let's see, 0 and 0. Okay, make sure. So Poland probably down here at 0 needs a point. Yes, we got here. Close this. They have a single Swiss point from their buy. Now saving. I am really enjoying Beastmen. I love fighting for the Dark Gods. I mean, I love the Empire and Sigmar. Praise be Sigmar. The Korngors. I was expecting Zangors and Archers. We need... Tzeentch is cowardly. We need the undivided Ungors. Alright. I think we're all good on admin issues. A few things. Got a ping there. Right. The next round, let's see here. I meant to check what is Berserk playing earlier. Let's see. Opalbear Black is playing one of my favorites, Chaos Dwarves. That's what their name is, Fallen Nephian. Definitely would not have been able to read that, thanks to the text on Total Tavern. I love that Cromburndle changed their picture to a freaking elf, to Elrond. Because he chose elves. Oh no, the circuit declared dwarves. Oh, dreaded. No. Something is wrong here. Right. Trying to find Berserk and the declare factions. Did I miss them? Oh no, they declared Khorne. Empire from Alric Raw. So Khorne and Empire. That's scary. Should have brought Rotting Riders to start and bum rush Torox. Yeah. Yep. That's how it goes sometimes. Rotting Riders would have absolutely decimated Torox for sure. Alright, but let me save that build. Not a very good build, but it's a build for sure. It is a build of all builds. Save that. Beastman. Beastman versus Walk. Like I said, good to know that I should probably not bring Torox, but I don't know. I like him. He's fun. He's too expensive though. 2050. Let's see, how much is he compared to... So if you take off Torox, so 2050. Let me turn on multiple lords. So Torox 2050 here. If you bring the Doom Bull with, let's say, just barbed knuckle boxing, what a mouthful, and Slaughterer's Call. Vastly different, but look at the stat difference. I mean, 700 here, more on Torox. A lot better stats. +6 on melee attack, +9 on melee defense for Torox. And then Torox, of course, his brass body, which gives him 40% ward save for 40 seconds, which is pretty nuts. Makes him very hard to kill. So, I mean, you do save 450, but 450 you lose out on a ward save, which helps save him. I don't know how good Blood Beast is. I think it's probably not very good, but the burnt leadership debuff at least is very nice, depending on what faction you're going against. So Adam likes the switch up maps. Hey, look at that. I was a bit wary that some of you wouldn't like the maps I chose because they're a lot different than what you usually do in tournaments. But I want to show appreciation to some of the map creators, maps who don't get used often. I like these maps thematically. I think they're cool, and functionally, I think they're pretty okay balance-wise. So, I mean, I feel like it's nice to spice it up. What did you like? All right, appreciate that, Adam. Let's see here. Because there's some, like Graveyard of Altdorf, I haven't seen used since, like, its release. Like, or since, like, once the other maps started being brought in. I think, Graveyard of Altdorf just kind of got phased out. Same with, like, a lot of these older maps, like, say, Kodo's Mistwood. I almost thought of putting this one in there, but originally when it came out, people weren't that fond of it in the first place. I quite liked it, but it's a very small, condensed map. So I decided, let's not, because specifically it hasn't been updated in a long time, and it does have its problems, but a lot of maps have problems, so, but they're small, you know. But either way, Kodo's Mistwood I think is just too much of a wrench in the machine, so decided not to do it. But I do wish it was updated. Would love to use it, but yeah, just in general, like a lot of these older maps, like Bleakspire Labor Camp. How often do you see that? That is such an old map that we used to use all the time whenever Total Tavern map pack was like fairly new. Almost thought of putting that one in as well, but I will probably put it in the next tournament because I do like the map a lot. Thematically, it's very cool. Functionally, great, balance-wise. What else? Didn't get to play Altdorf. No, we did play Altdorf Farmlands. Turned out I like that. Very interesting with the 4 map points. Typically we don't it's only 3, so did like it. Crater Decay, don't really see that ever again. I brought that in. Big fan of it. Actually, I think I brought it in, or did I take it out? I think I took it out, swapped it out the last second, but another big favorite that isn't seen anymore. What else do we have here? There's a lot of maps. I mean, to be fair, so can't get to all of them, but I would like less repeats in a lot of tourneys. Thought about bringing Halls of Craig Drum. It's been a long time since I saw that one as well, but maybe next time. Maybe next time. Maybe make sure to check the scores. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I think we're good to go. No, okay, we have J Phoenix and Zahard going at it. Let's see how they. Let's see. Hopefully they'll be done soon. But yeah, I mean, Halls of Craig Drum, liked it. Very flat though. It's a very flat map, so can't bring too many of those flat open maps. I almost thought of putting Hell Pit depths in there as well, but again, same with what was it that I called Kodo's Mistwood? Very short, condensed map with very limited ability to flank. So if you're a faction like Beastmen who rely a lot on speed, you're gonna get kind of screwed there, and you want to try to ban that map. So maybe, I don't know. I didn't want to limit people too much with bringing that, as much as I love that map. But maybe I'll bring it next time, because I mean that's what the ban is there for, right? So yeah, I just like these a lot of underappreciated maps more than the ones used often. Also a big fan of the ones that have like side objectives, but I know others aren't, frustratingly. But I definitely like those like side objectives which like add stuff, like give you additional Vanguard points, or say for example, I don't know, maybe give you like a small buff. Like it literally doesn't matter. Like plus 1 melee attack, plus 2 melee attack, whatever. Because it's a strategic point. Why not? But people aren't big fans of those, so. We can always look at the sacred note here. Oh, interesting. They like sacred note. Has it been that long since somebody used sacred note that that some people don't know about it? Yeah, I love sacred note. Such a good map and never seen anymore. But I love that like high rise hill and plain. Let's see here. Let me open up browser capture. So, it's a great map. I used to love this map a lot. It's like one of the first maps that I like had like a good time on Lizardman with. Like generally, I always had struggled with Lizardman, but this one in particular with like the aquatic effects with the water, actually utilizing aquatic on a unit is funny. I mean, hey, those Noblars can be used too, the ROR variant, but you haven't seen this since like base game, since like early Total Tavern map pack, and a big fan of it. Super big fan of it. All right, I think we're good to go. Yep. Sweet. Make sure. Yep. Okay, we're going to advance the Swiss. With the 4th round here. Let me put this in the chat. Goblins. Round 4. I keep trying to type round 4, but I keep pressing 5 instead. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, who are we up against? I'm up against Grom Brindle, the man, the myth, the legend on the Wood Elves. To see. Old man Grom Brindle. I mean, where the heck are they? Grom Bindelf. There we go. Up against the new and improved Gormbrindo, who is now an elf fan, who is now purely an elf main. We and Alric are matched again? Okay. Okay, let's swap this around real quick. Okay, so 2 of you are matched. Cowboy Bop and Dizoni are matched against the same person, I believe, from what I'm understanding. So Cowboy Bop. Let's see here. I love when Control F doesn't work. Against Our Girl. And then KP. Dizoni. And have you guys played against each other yet? Excuse me, Bop and KP? If you guys haven't, I'll match you up. And then swap our Raw with Zoni. I can just check. It's fine. It'd be easy, be faster. Cowboy Bop there against Alric, yep. And then Renataki. Okay, seems like you haven't played against each other, so I'll just match you guys against each other. All right, sounds good. In that case, you guys just play against each other, and I'll fix this real quick. Dizoni. Okay, Dizoni, I think, has not played our crawl. Let me check. I'll work against Berserk. Poland. Okay. Roll against Zani? What is her name? Zoni. You against Ulrich Roll. All right. And don't worry about it. I will fix it after. Let me. Tuning KP. And I put Cowboy Bot. Brundle, Beastman. Okay. Make sure that everything's good. Alric's up against Zoni. And Cowboy Bop against KP 147. Did I miss somebody? I think I did. I miss somebody? I think I missed somebody because somebody should be there. Unless somebody dropped or something. Reddit, sorry. So Zoni up against Alric. And then Cowboy against something. If I'll figure it out later. I think it should be good though. I think we should be good. Okay, so round 4, Sacred to Note. I'll do, let's see, Beastman, Oilfields. And Oilfields. Okay, let me join his lobby. Let me check up on points. See what's going on here. Make sure nothing is too wrong. Leading the fray is Berserk and Pontus plus Opal. We have a few others tied for 4th spot with Alric, Martin, and Real Kitty. We'll see how things go with this 4th and final round. Yes, I am here. Come on, the RTK lads and lasses. RTK is doing great so far. We'll see. We got Opal Bear's RTK, right? We got RTK from Opal Bear, and then Alric Raw, and then Martin. Dominating over here. Come on. Okay, Alric messaged me. Let's see what Alric has to say. Message me over to switch Beastman real quick. I should have theoretically. Okay, that's why. Okay. Yeah, I may have screwed over Alric a little bit there. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, I see now the issue. Let's see here. We'll check the points for people. Yeah, because they're up against 1 second here while I speak with Auric. Get things going here. I think unfortunately they're already, let's see. All right, yeah, good to know. Auric let me know the problem with swapping opponents like that. Just to know for future. Okay. All right, so Grumbrino Band's Secret Note. So we are on. Hold on. Well, I mean, it's funny the way he did that. Like, you don't need to ban anything. You're just picking. So picking the Jambling Bog. Okay. Okay, let me put the blocker up. All right, so up against Wood Elves. We've got good old Wood Elves. So definitely not going to need that. Maybe get some of these guys. Cut one of these. This. Oh, okay, okay. Good to know, good to know. Okay. Can't bring any more of those. Put one there. Don't need this. Okay, okay. On the off chance I could bring one of these. Going, how hard do I want to sweat here? I mean, I'm not a huge sweater type. Shambling Bog. Yeah, that's really the question here. How hard do I want to sweat? I don't really want to sweat that much, honestly. Um, should I bring one of these? Very interesting matchup. Very interesting matchup indeed. Um, Do I want one of those? I think so, maybe. I think I want some of these just to fill up the points. I mean, I guess I don't need one of those, so I could do this. Hundred, 800, okay. These guys are more durable than the other ones. Those guys are a waste. Hmm. Okay, screw it. I'll just go with that. I think I need something more though. Like 12. Oops. Okay, yeah, go with that. Perfect. The weight opponent. All right, we should be good to go. Should be a good fight. Almost wanted to bring the Eye of Morslib, but every time I bring the Eye of Morslib, I swear to God, that man like misses 80% of his freaking boulder shots. And then of course, like Wood Elves units typically aren't like bunched up together, so I can't imagine you'll get too much value out of them. Though the net is pretty good, and I do like the pressure that it puts on the opponent, but I don't know if it's worth the like 1850 you pay for him. So yeah, it's generic old Malagor. Had to sweat a little bit. Got a whole bunch of got a bunch of gold gores. You know how it is, a bunch of gores. Can you go through there? I don't know. I imagine so. I don't see why not. Let's try it. Let's see if you can go through there. I'm gonna assume not, but could be wrong. Could be wrong. Let me put this guy over here. There's no point over there, right? So yeah, it's just these three. Yeah, that's fine. Put a single here. Not so farther, not so far back, but a little less on this side. Gonna capture that point right away. All right, we should be good to go. Oops. You can't go through there. Cool, 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 cool. Hey, you can't go through there. I was lied to. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. Oh no, that hurts. Malagora, get out of there, you bastard. Oops, I forgot to charge. Hopefully that should route them soon. No, he got netted. Maybe a little mistake on my part. It's fine. Wanna risk the miscast here? I hurt. Okay, that's fine. No, my lord. Some rear charges. Oh, nice net. Pretty good net. Just meant to keep doing that. Mm-mm-mm. Uh... Do I want to bring Malagor back out? I don't think so. Stop those dryads from getting there, that's for sure. Nice breath attack. Keeping them away from the point as long as possible. Get those freaking minotaurs, that'd be great. Actually, maybe these would be better. Gotta start going for that back point. Might be able to keep this back point here. So I can win off of 1 point. Come on, so close. We might hold on. We're gonna hold on. Yes, yes, for the dark gods. We hold on. My God. Jesus Christ. Oh my. Oh, the dark gods bless me today. Malagor fights on. Thought it was all over once I lost Malagor that early on. The leadership hit hurts. But the Zangors, they do their best. 1342 on one of these bad boys. My God. Man, that was a tough fight. Man, oh freaking man. 1475, 731, and 704 there. 711, 1324, 1335 on the throwing axis. Throwing axis did freaking fantastic, even though I felt the Grey Lord had infinite HP at 3391 value there. And thanks to the freaking regrowth, I think, from the Spell Singer, it was either regrowth or Lifeblood. Either way, or Earthblood, it was still a lot of freaking healing. And I swear, God, I was not doing any damage to that Glade Lord. And I thought they were going to win the game for them. But my God, what a fight. What a freaking scrap. 1324, 1777 on the Sentis. To be fair, they were summoned twice. So, you know, not too accurate, but they did a good job. And the dogs, I'm so glad I brought the dogs. I don't know why it shows shields there, but a visual bug that happens on occasion. The dogs did fantastic. 1,066 feasting on freaking Deepwood Scouts. That was incredible. Such good value. The Dryads did great. How did the Dryads do against Zangors? I imagine it's a fairly even trade, considering the Dryads rely a lot on their physical resistance and Zangors have magical attacks. I don't know. I figured throwing them into them would be good, but I didn't actually get to look at what was going on. I imagine maybe the Dryads still winning out because they have higher melee attack, weapon strength. Everything else though, 1169 there, 1083 and 2060 on these Wild Riders, 983 on the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, and 1593 on the Sisters of Thorn. The Sisters of Thorn did fantastic there. I did not expect those guys. They did insanely good. Extremely well played to Grom Brindle there, a dwarf player typically. Maybe elf is your calling, Styre. Maybe it truly is. Maybe. Man, what a sweaty match. That was a fantastic match. Let me check the bracket. I think, can see, report my score. I think they're only waiting for me, so Beastmen up against Wood Elves. Submit that. Let's look at the scores here. So I think, okay, we're waiting on Alricron and Zani. But I feel bad, unfortunately, for Alric. I kind of screwed him there on the point. But he said it was fine, because I changed the matchups, and typically you're not kind of supposed to, unless you really, like, deep dive into, like, who is, like, arguably closer matched. It's better for you to just leave it as it is and force people to play against the same opponents, but... So it seems we might just have another round. We have 4 people. No, okay. Yes, we're going to have another round, it seems, because only 2 people have 4 Swiss points and the others have... No. Actually, no. I'm looking at it now. OPP points. Berserk, Pontus, Martin, and Opal Bear Black all have... So the Martin and Opal Bear have 10 points each. So outranging the other 3 people with 3 points, which have 8 from Circia. 8 me, 6 for me, and 3 for me. So unless I'm looking at this correctly, I think these are our top 4 players. Sorry again to Ulrich. It seems so. Unless people know I know what's his name, Anticity does like another round if there's a lot of people who have 3 score. I don't know if people want to do that, but he's still playing. Our call hasn't responded yet. He's still playing. Yeah, that's what I figured. But still, like he had an opponent with higher OPP points and stuff, so theoretically that match would have been better for him for his points, whether he wins that one or not, because he would have been originally up against, who was it? Against Cowboy Bop, who has, yes, so 3. So if he went against Cowboy Bop, he would have theoretically got more OPP points from Cowboy Bop than he would from Match the Man with Zoni, which has I don't know. Yeah, I think it would even out with OPP points. OPP points, it would gotten a lot more from that. It was you, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'll ask if people want to do another round, but I don't think so. Let's see. Tournament help. Yeah, because like Entity, like his turn. What does his tournament say typically? Is that a 2-10? Oh, okay. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, because let's see. Authenticity does is he does all players that get 3+ wins will either go to semis or tiebreaker. If more than 8 players have 3+ wins, another round will be played. And how many? I'm not saying that's what we're doing, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If our gets a third one, that'd be 7. So it would be close to 8, but yeah. But it says all players that get 3+ wins go to semis. So in that case, it would be like all of these players for Entity's tournament. I don't know if that's better. I don't know how Entity does is like theoretically, like it says that, but I don't know how it actually works out functionally in his tournaments. So I don't know. It's interesting. It is definitely interesting. Okay, Alric finished his. So now we have. Did Alric not? Hold on. Alric 1, 2. He should have 3. Yeah, he should have 3 points. Why does he only have 2 on here? Maybe because I swapped his opponents. I know I just saw his name. Yeah, so 3. He should have 3 points. I don't know why it's giving him only 2. Oh, right. That's right. I need to refresh. You're right. Silly me. Well, let me see. Let me refresh the entire page entirely. I think that only affects brackets. Refreshing the bracket. So, yeah, there we go. So look at that. Pretty big change there. Alric up top with 3. Oh my God. So, wow. Okay, so at this point, you would do another. Because these 2 players would definitely go to the top. So these 3 would need. I don't know. It'd be just a 3-way right here with these 3 players who all have 10. Unless they want to do an. Yeah. How do other tournament hosts do at this point? Because, like, 3 is obviously unevenly matched, so. Let me ask. Let me ask some tournament hosts. Dipping tool. Could just do Berserk versus the other undefeated dude in final. Pontus? Yeah, you could, theoretically. Or 1d3 and that one is out. I'm just talking to Serkia right now. Because I think it'd be too awkward. Like if it was 4 people who had 10 LP points, not 4 of them could, you know, play their own 2 matches, but sometimes they decided based on the later 1T2. So you see who makes the semifinals of Berserk, Ponty, and Alric. Yeah. What I had before was that the person who played like the lowest win rate faction would win. Those in that case, but I don't have that anymore. So I don't want to just add that in. But maybe it's yeah. Let's see the leaderboard here. It's either that or I roll 1d3. Yeah, I think I might try to roll 1d3 like Serkia said. Is it less satisfactory that way? I don't know. Satisfying that way? I don't know. Okay, so we have Ulrich is gonna be number 1, Martin 2, Bears 3. We just roll who gets taken out or not. Can you do it in the turn? You could do it in the chat, right? In the Discord. I don't know how to figure that out. Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to do it in the yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Let's go that way. We do it this way. There we go. So 2. 2 will be taken out, which will be Martin. Oh no, for Martin. All right, so if I remember correctly, you just swap them out, or you advance the top 4 and then swap out the 2, swap out the one that doesn't get advanced. I think so. What am I missing, Serkia? Okay, I'm about the top 4. It is going to be, let's see. Yeah, sorry, Martin. Sorry, Martin. Be Opal Bear Black. Should we wait for this to load? But yeah, it'll be Opal versus Pontims. Is this the right one? Pontim's Claw? Yeah. And That'll work. All right, yeah. So I'll fix that real quick. Martin will be Opal Bear Black. There we go. Just a single P. All right. It should be fun. Got some fantastic players here. I apologize to Martin, but hopefully I see you next time in the next time I host, next semifinals. Did pretty good there. All right. Let me post here. Oh, that's a bad thing. Sus. That's sus. That's sus, dog. Bot just posted in the tournament chat. But all right, yeah, let's go to find our lobby here. Opal. We'll get things rolling. That was a pretty fun tournament. That was fun playing the Beastmen. Haven't done so well with them in a long time. All right, could be watching Opal Bear Black's game. Hopefully he does well. With this blocker up, should be a pretty fantastic fight. All right, today we have Opal Bear Black up against, let's see here. Against Pontiff's Claw, Tim's Claw. We're gonna mispronounce her name, unfortunately. Oh my god, there's a bot just infesting the freaking server right now. I think I tagged the right person. Yeah, okay. Our versus Berserk as well should be a pretty good fight. Yeah, I mean, I won out against Grombrindle. I mean, that's something at least to ride away with. Back when I originally played Dom, I barely could scrap against any of the top players, if at all. Like, I remember out of region won like within just a few minutes of starting the game against him, like 5 minutes, because he sniped my hell cannon, and then I brought it in again, which was a terrible idea, and he sniped it again, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. I can't remember what faction I was playing. I don't know if it was Warriors of Chaos. I think it was Warriors of Chaos, and I had a terrible time on them. I do not know how to play Warriors of Chaos in Dom, turns out. But hey, much better this time around. That's pretty fun. But yeah, next time I'm probably going to settle with, I think maybe introduce, I don't like dice rolls is the thing. I think it's sucky for like determining who's the top. So next time I think I'm going to bring back my previous tiebreaker, sort of, like, which is those who play like the lowest faction on the stats. Takes a spot because like it kind of incentivizes to playing more of the like lower win rate factions, like Beastmen, for example. It's a bit cheesy, but you know, it's either that or chance with dice roll. At least this way you get to choose which faction you're playing. Hope that your opponent is playing the worst faction, or rather the higher win rate faction. But yeah, the maps for today will be for semis, will be Urgot's Stomping Grounds, Battered Bluff, and Needle Mist Isle. See which they're banning. I don't even need to use the blocker. Let me just do this. I'm not gonna look at their armies, so not too interested in looking at their armies. But two pretty strong players. You got Dark Elves versus Chaos Dwarves. Theoretically, I would put this in favor of the Dark Elves simply because overall they have a lot of answers to what the Chaos Dwarves can bring. But Opal Bear Black is a very strong player. I imagine he can think of something, and it's not like it's a horrendously sided match. I mean, let's look at the stats here real quick for Total Tavern. For stats, we're looking at Dark Elves up against Chaos Dwarves. Yeah, so they have, it's around 60% they have against Chaos Dwarves. So definitely, like, it's not too high end. It's not too massively favored for Dark Elves. It's definitely a toss-up. Can be sort of a toss-up. But theoretically, if the Dark Elf player plays it very well, brings the right build, I can imagine that they'll have a much easier time. Or an easier time. But yeah, I mean, they just have they have a lot of AP on their roster overall. Code 1 Knights traded impressively well into both Sunterra Renderers. I know that from an awful experience of playing against them in land battle a lot of the times. Obviously, this is dumb, but it still kind of reflects that. I mean, stats don't change. COK are just so good value-wise. The question is, who shall we see for the Dark Elves? Shall we see maybe... I imagine maybe... They're up against Chaos Dwarves. Who would I bring? Would you bring a Dragon Lord? Maybe. I don't see why not. A lot of the range components of the Chaos Dwarves, Fireglaves, fairly expensive, so bringing them is very risky. So, even though they could punish a dragon character severely, they still require not only a lot of funds, but a lot of protection as well. Because even if they're highly armored, they're still like a thin line of, or they're a very condensed line of infantry, ranged infantry. So, like one good like spell or charge from like COKs could be pretty detrimental to them. Their armor and like melee defense keeps them in the fight for a little long. So at least there's that, but still, point stands. They're not easily protected. Especially with this like a slower roster of the Chaos Dwarves. You have Hobgoblin, not Sneaky Gits, the riders. I can't think of their name right now. The Hobgoblin skirmishers. Do you have them? But they'll route like at the flip of a dime. Like, maybe one thing goes wrong for them, maybe a dragon recharges them, gone instantly. Burst of damage and then fear or terror. Those guys do not have the leadership for that. They have like 40 something leadership, 45 maybe. So overall, that's all that to say that the Dark Elves I think definitely have the advantage, but Chaos Dwarves definitely have a chance. Opal Bear Black, as I said, great player. We'll see how they do. We'll see what they can think of. And I was thinking of Malice Meanblade, but I wasn't sure if that was the right call. But here we are. Malice Meanblade here to show his edge, to show his emo side to the Chaos Dwarves. Rip and tear through the Chaos Dwarves line. But unfortunately for Malice, Chaos Dwarves have brought in a load of goblins and orcs. So his bloodlust will not be sated with these pitiful goblins and orcs. though that is what he will get. For the Dark Elves, we do have Malice Meanblade on his little Velociraptor. He is going to be rocking his Demon's Curse, Blood Price, and of course his Warp Sword of Cain, which gives him that nice 0.18% heal and 5% ward save if he's in melee. So, pretty good fighter, all around fantastic stats, easy to bog down though, and can be surrounded by both anti-renderers, but, you know, he has his transformation, he has his ward save, should be okay. Blackguard of Nagaron, 3 of those bad boys, very elite center core here, I love to see it, really like this build, very excited for it. Bloodrack Medusa as well. Has those anti-large, has anti-large in melee, just in case a bull lord drops down and tries to fight her, but also has AP and magical missiles to bypass any physical resistance, like on the renderers, or just to shoot away at like fire glaives if they get a chance. Even shoot at like Drazoth. Like, it's much better against condensed infantry, but still pretty good all around. So very expensive elite core here. And then we have a sorceress with a beast with Manticore summon, the Curse of Anra here, which I don't see very often. Very expensive spell at 11, but a pretty big debuff at 25% speed, and a bunch of melee stat debuffs. Would prefer if it was like around maybe like 9 wins, I think would be fair. Debuff spells are kind of tend to be expensive sometimes for little gain. But Curse of Anra here is okay. So I'm interested to see it. We also have the Flames of Asgore brought from Opal Bear Black. And the Demon Spite Crucible, because he did bring Drazoth, which you don't see that often, but he has much better spell mastery over the generic lord. For the rest of the army, it's going to be a whole bunch of goblins with some orcs, orcsises, and some chaos dwarves with some hobgoblin archers, which are pretty good now that they are at 500 cost, which got reduced a long while back. But ever since then, they've been pretty cost effective. 140 range, flaming missiles if that matters, like if you're against the wood elves, and pretty okay missile strength at 13. But yeah, overall builds, all infantry mass that the elite core of the Dark Elves are going to have to deal with, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, I didn't even notice we have some Dark Riders in Vanguard as well. But yeah, as you can see, this map here is a little bit of a slight hill for those who haven't played on it. So you could say if you put an infantry unit here, he has a little bit of hill coverage from like guns, so they'd have to like push up a bit more. But overall, it's pretty open, and then the forests protect the units here a bit from any ranged fire of the opposing side. So it's like, say, if like a cannon, they can't just shoot directly into their vanguard deployment or the reinforcements. They have a bit of forest cover, and then that hill slightly a bit as well in case there's any guns for the opposing side as well. Yeah, I'm pretty big fan of this map. Got these little cool dark crystals here. Very nice aesthetic. Dark elves, I think, themed. As you see the cold winter waters on the shore, by the shore. Which would be a pretty good brawl here in the center if they decide to fight it out there. And that's exactly what it seems Opal Bear is going to be going for. Mostly just a big old melee brawl. Throwing everything at, seems 2 points maybe. Or just splitting them up. I think it's focusing on the main 2 points here. Kind of leaving that third one, giving them mobility advantage there to the Dark Elves. Because the Hobgoblin Raiders don't have a chance fighting. I mean, they would trade okay at the Dark Riders, but I think Dark Riders would overall win. Specifically on leadership. We do have the first Manticore summon of the game from the Dark Elf side. Could be going after Drazoth, who's a little bit too pushed up here. He's kind of struck with indecision, but now he's fighting back possibly, or is he actually going to fight back? Drazoth, are you okay? You having a little bit of a brain freeze there? He's having a little bit of brain freeze, and so is the game with a little bit of lag. The Drazoth just kind of uncertain on where to go. The Manticore might get some pretty good value from fighting Drazoth there. because he's not that great of a fighter. He's okay. He's alright on his Bull Lord. 6146. Actually, he's a lot better than the Sorcerer Prophet. 6146, 565. But you pay a lot for him, so. You don't want to take him any unnecessary damage from a single little summon. Cheap little summon that goes away in 35 seconds. Or start to go away. But yeah, we've got the Bloodrack Medusa taking some shots somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where. Maybe in just some cheap little goblins. Doesn't matter too much. Drazov taking a few more hits from the Manticore. Trying to get away. Taking unnecessary damage. Unfortunately, already down to 7,200 HP. Losing a pretty good amount. So nice value coming in from the Dark Elves. Manticore. The Blood Medusa shooting into the Orcs. Which is not worth the ammo at all. But, you know, something better than nothing, I guess. But I definitely would rather scoot up a little bit to at least get a single shot into the Chaos Dwarves before the Hobgoblin Archers can turn face and shoot at the Medusa. But in return, the Dark Elves player making a big mistake. They're letting the Sorcerer's Sorceress take quite a bit of damage, unnecessary damage from these Hobgoblin Archers. Added up quite a bit. But luckily for her, she's quick, so she can get out of there quickly away from that fire. Point 1 taken by the Chaos Dwarves. Point 2 as well, as they have a massive infantry contingent here, holding that down. And now point 3 is taken by the Chaos Dwarves as well, with 3 Hobgoblin Wolf Riders summoned out to hold on to that point. The Dark Elf player hasn't noticed, but either way, you don't want your black card chasing after those guys. Does the black card have the elite infant capture weight? Yes, at 7, but it is 3 from here, from all 3 of these, so 9 overall, outweighing them by 2. I do have some Witch Elves being summoned in, same with some more Dark Riders. Witch Elves get into the fight with the Goblin Laborers, but as a costly trade, it seems, as they're taking a lot of damage from those, from the pelting of those Goblin Archers. My god. Down to 85 bottles, almost half HP. Not doing too great, considering they were just fighting Goblin Laborers. Medusa taking something there. Was it the Asgore thing? Was it the, like the Flames of Asgore? Something hit them, but they took a lot of damage from there. Either way, they're continuing to shoot away. If the Orc Laborers not getting much value there, definitely need to scoot up a bit and start shooting at the Chaos Dwarves, because your ammo is just being wasted. Let's look at the value there. I imagine not very good. Probably 100 or something. 119 kills, but 300 value, so... Bull Centaur Render squeezing through, and they're going to try to make their way over to get on top of the Medusa, but I think that's a little too risky there with Malice there nearby. Malice is going to pop that blood price, going to start getting a lot of good value there from fighting the Bull Centaur Renders, but he needs support. He is a strong lord, but he is a single lone man who definitely is going to take a lot of damage from those anti-large great weapons of the Bull Centaur Renderers. Don't get me wrong, they'll take a lot of damage back, but he is just one man. Got to be careful there. Not too sure about that one. Medusa did get pushed off, though. Gonna turn back around. Definitely would be wise to maybe go around and start shooting into the flanks of these Chaos Dwarf Warriors, shoot into the sides of these Hobgoblin Archers, instead of keeping them shooting at the cheap infantry. Witch Elves popping their Witch Brew should theoretically start tearing apart these Goblin Laborers, but again, fire and support from the Chaos Dwarves is really good, making up so much value from shooting at these Witch Elves, who rely so much on their physical resistance of 20%, as they have no armor at 5. So, look at that, just being pelted away, surrounded by goblins. It is so bad for them, but this is exactly what we needed here. Some Sisters of Slaughter, some very durable 58 melee defense infantry clears, with some physical resistance as well of 20%. But again, something's got to get on top of these Hobgoblin Archers. Something's got to deal with them, because they are getting so much value from them. Where did the Bull Centaur Renderers go? Bull Centaur Renderers, did they get screened out? Can't see where they went. I'm not sure. Not too sure. Oh, there they are. They are fighting some Dark Riders at the moment. And if Flames of Asgore comes down there, tears apart those Dark Riders and the COKs. My god, look at that value. That is such good value. Oh, that is beautiful. Drazoth is in a happy mood after that one. Those COKs, entire HP just nuked out the game. They were cold written out. We do have some more Cold One Knights coming in there. Bull Centaur Renderers do live to see another day, but they might get caught out there by the COKs if the Chaos Dwarf player does not notice. Drazoth gonna find his chance to try to snipe out the sorceress, but if he gets lucky, that the sorceress is on a mount there, so she's not going to be able to get knocked down there like a typical foot caster is. So he's going to get a really nice catch there, and Malice is not going to be able to get there in time. Something coming out there, maybe a... Nope, nothing. Okay, here we go. The Curse of Admiral here does catch out, but Drazov gets into the air before it takes place, so he's not... Malice doesn't find his day, doesn't find his chance to whoop on him, but at least the sorcerer gets away, right? Drazov isn't gonna catch them out, is they? The fire glaives summoned in there. They are obscured at the moment thanks to the goblins, but they do start getting some shots into them, into the blackguard. Before the blackguard do get into that melee fight, they are shooting in melee at the very least, and the Wolf Centaur Rangers are there to help. So those blackguards will not see another day. Other blackguards getting routed as well as the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders get a side charge into them. Drazov trying to finish off the sorceress, but she's going to get away. She does rout, however, so no more magic for the Dark Elves. COKs get a nice potential surround here on Drazov. They just need the attack order. They keep... Oh, they do have the attack order, but they're just not circling him. What is happening here? Look at this. They're just escorting him out. I hate this. You have the surround. There we go. There we go. The surround is in place. We do have Hobgoblin Raiders supporting. COK is taking quite a bit of damage from Drazov at the moment, which is insane from that single attack. But they're in turn getting fantastic damage into Drazov. But with his mass, he's able to push through them, through his own Wolf Raiders as well, and get it back up into the sky. Unfortunately for the COKs, they do lose their chance. A Knight Assassin being summoned in as well. Going to start picking away slowly at the Chaos Dwarf units. But he is a foot... He's a foot hero, so he does get knocked down anytime Drazov tries to get a shot on him. So at least there's that. He's mitigating some of that damage. 1,078 points, 1,080 for Opal Bear Black. Opal Bear Black doing insanely well with this massive amount of infantry. And as I said, Chaos Dwarves are not written out. It is not an easy win for the Dark Elf side. If the Chaos Dwarf player plays well, if they bring the right units, and exactly what Opal Bear Black did, thought of something to possibly bring lower the value trading from the Dark Elves, which is a lot of cheap infantry. Malice is being surrounded and shot by Hobgoblin Archers and some Fire Glaives. Fire Glaives, theoretically, if they get another volley here, should get some fantastic damage. Look at there. Look at that HP just being absolutely obliterated. Oh my god, getting Last Samurai. Well, Malice, will you survive? Will you get to transform just in time? Yes, he does. He does get that transformation off into Zarkin. So at the very least, he lives to fight another day, to fight amongst those Fire Glaives for a little while longer. COKs could probably be unsummoned. These Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders have just outcapped the Blackguard for this entire time, and unfortunately I don't think Pontus noticed. Otherwise they could have sent the Blackguard over and just relinquished that point to the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. But they seem to have given up on that point. Knight Assassin continues sitting idle by, shooting away. But unfortunately, I don't think they'll amount to much. I think this game is pretty much over. Was over once the Medusa and the Sorceress got screened off as they did, and the Sorceress being routed off. Drazov, unfortunately, still lives. Knight Assassin taking that fight as well. 1,400 points for Opal Bear Black. Massive value lead at 13,000 to 8,500. RTK putting a pretty good showing today. Look at this massive amount of orcs and goblins. I imagine some Corsairs would have been fantastic here, but I don't think they imagined this many goblins and orcs to have to deal with. This much unarmored infantry. As well, the armor of the Corsairs would have done great for fending off the arrows of the Hobgoblin Archers. But yeah, just the Hobgoblin Archers did so incredibly good here. Did not have anything to counter them or anything to clear them out. Maybe a Firecaster would have been good. I'm not sure. But we did see some Celestial Harvesters. I forgot what they're called. Doomfire Warlocks being summoned in. And I've learned from a land battle player that Doomfire Warlocks actually trade pretty good into Wolf Centaur Renderers, surprisingly. I did not know that, but they can surround them and make you lose immense amount of value in that trade. Fortunately, those black cards didn't amount to much. One of them just sat on a point. So much value just spent doing nothing. Like 1100, I think they cost or something like that. Very pricey infantry unit just to have their sit there and do nothing but bodyguard that point. It is very unfortunate. So much value spent there. 1690 there on Malice Mean Blade. He did fantastic. Or he did what he could. 757 there on the... Yeah, I think unfortunately just some misplays with the Medusa, misplays with the Blackguard. Definitely could have had it there. But also the Witch Elves had a horrible time there. So much value just soaked up thanks to the Hobgoblin Archers, which got 581, 738, 782, and 500. All paid for themselves a little bit more than that as well. COKs had a tough time, especially with that Flames of Asgore. I think that was a big turnaround as well. The Chaos Dwarf player, Opal Bear Black, it's got so much value from that Flames of Asgore, catching out both a COK and a Dark Rider, I believe, with that. So really, really good value there from them. Practically shutting down one of the only answers that they had to the Bull Centaur Renderers, who really needed more focus put into them because they just were reigning free. And unfortunately, after that Flames of Asgore, they continue to live on and get more value. 3,201 from this Infernal Guard, who got really nice volleys into both Malice Mean Blade and then also into COKs, I believe. Just really well protected. Yeah, just one of them is good enough for the Chaos Dwarf player. Don't need more than that. Double Bull Centaur Renderers. Only one of them was really brought out for the majority of the game with 918 value. Death Trigger. Death Trigger wasn't needed, but would have been pretty good here in case Dark Elves brought any shades. I think Shielded Shades could have also been incredibly good too. Yeah, really good match between both of these players. Well played. Let's see how Berserk and Alric are doing. Check the bracket. All right, so now they advance. Berserk and Opal Bear Black will be the two semi-finalists, or grand finalists, rather. Don't need this. Move that blocker there. Hope you guys are having a good one. Hope you guys are having a good time. And thanks to everybody for playing. Sorry for the delays. But it was fun playing again. And it was fun casting. Two extremely strong players. Some of the elite in the Dom community. We have Berserk with... Check that leaderboard. Berserk here at spot 5. Opal Bear Black. A little further down. A lot further down, it seems. Maybe they haven't been playing too much. At 33. So, this could potentially be their first tourney win of the season. They're good. But otherwise, very strong player. 51% win rate. And, I mean, you can even see there. They have the dreaded Saurian avatar. That's how you know somebody's a strong player. So you know that they are a menace to deal with. We have Berserk here with the 7 tourney wins, 76% win rate. Tough dog to take down. Gotta be careful with him. He is a frenzy, a wild card to have to fight. All right, let's check the maps for today. Or for these finals. So we got Glade of the Everqueen, Clash of Chaos, and Sacred Note of Chakra. All three great maps. Love all of these. Clash of Chaos thematically awesome. Sacred Note of Chakra also thematically cool and just well built. Glade of the Everqueen, great. Three maps here which have seen quite a bit of play in their time, with Lady of the Queen, fantastic map. Isn't utilized as much nowadays as it was before, but still a good map. And then we have Clash of Chaos. So Clash of Chaos, really nicely themed. We got the Siege on the left side, Nurgle in the center, and Slanesh on the right hand. I just noticed Khorne is missing. Poor Khorne, but you know, oh well. I know Khorne is sort of there. Like it's that little, like the little, kind of got gypped there. But they have those little monuments or gates there, I suppose, walls. So, pretty cool. Pretty open map with pretty, not a whole lot of opportunity to flank, but it's open enough. And then we have Sacred Note of Chakra. Another 3-lane map like this, straight across. Big favorite of mine. I've talked about it already. Because anybody playing Lizardmen, you get that aquatic trait, which is always a nice bonus for 0.1. Yeah, we'll see how these two players do. Pretty strong players, as I said. Will Opal Bear Black take their first win of the season, or will it go to Berserk? Will Berserk go up to 8 tournament wins? Chaos Dwarfs against Khorne. I haven't seen this matchup much, but if I'm thinking off the top of my head, I would say maybe Chaos Dwarfs have the slight advantage. I'm going to take a guess there. I'm going to go more so off the faction stats. Let me check real quick. I don't think I've ever seen this match in Dom. Let's check here. Chaos Dwarves, 50% win rate, these guys. Doing pretty good. Love to see it. Love to see them flourishing. Up against Khorne. Yeah. Okay, I was pretty much correct. Obviously, this is a pretty low amount of games so far, 19. But they have one up against Khorne. So, let's check the previous stats. So, Chaos Dwarfs against Khorne. Much better. Against Khorne at 67%. So yeah, it's about what I imagined. You have better skirmishing, much better skirmishing than Khorne. You have the range advantage overall. Decent magical availability in terms of melee and damage. So answers to bloodletters if need be. Wrathmongers can be kited. Trains can be pretty deadly and hard to lock down unless you have Karanak, who has that net. And just a whole lot of shooting. A lot of shooting that I can contend with. The Betrains are pretty deadly here. But you just gotta keep him away from Karanak. Or Rampage from Scarbrand if he's brought. I would expect Valkia to be brought because Spear of Slapnir would do fantastic into like Chaos Dwarves or Fire Glaives. And she's an anti-large fighter. She can poke away at trains and poke away at the Bull Lord if need be. If they have the opportunity to. So we'll be on Glade of the Everqueen. Knowing this map, not as much opportunity to kite as not as big of a map as, say, Waterloo Landing, or more open rather. But I still think I'd put this in Chaos Dwarves lead because they have a lot of space for any artillery that they have in the back line that they can protect, because they have vanguard points literally right there, and the considering the map is a little bit more condensed in terms of the points, they can pretty much cover the entire battlefield with their artillery if they decide to bring it from their spawn. So it'd be tough for Khorne to shut down that artillery. But if anybody could do it, it's Berserk, and that's when we're loading in. Dude, I have a gnat right in front of my freaking face. Will not go away. My God. Driving me freaking insane. But here we are. Thanks to everybody for joining. What a fantastic, beautiful map. Love to see it. We've got Khorne from Berserk here, rocking a Scarbrand the Exiled. He's got himself Bellow of Endless Fury, his little breath attack, which you have to pay for, unfortunately, for some reason. I think so. Unless it's the... is it for the Plain Exalted Bloodthirster, excuse me? Could be. But either way, not that great of a breath attack anyways, but it's okay. It's alright for a lord that can't fly. We also have Rage Embodied for his rampage, possibly catch out any trains or bull lords. Got to be careful when you're around Scarbrand. But in turn, Scarbrand's got to be careful because he is a big target. You know, he only has 22% physical. He only has 20% physical resistance. He doesn't have any missile resistance either. Just spell and physical. So Fire Glyphs can do a lot of damage to him real quickly. But we have Marauders. A whole bunch of Marauders for the front line, including some dual weapons in the back line. Gonna be hoping that the Dwarven player brings a bunch of Orcs and Goblin Laborers. We also have some Chaos Warhounds vanguarded up to take those points as soon as possible. For the Chaos Dwarf player, we do have a Bull Lord once again. It is Drazoeth. He is here to see the gig again. Maybe Drazoeth is coming back. Maybe he's starting to take the reins. He'll be part of the meta. We'll see. Does have the same stuff. Demon Spite Crucible. Flames of Asgore. Should do fantastic if Berserk doesn't notice. Who does take point 1 right away. For the rest of the army, it's going to be a whole bunch of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, Orcs, and Goblins. Gobos. Got the Gobos here. Got some Chaos Dwarfs in the forest. And some Fireborn. Fireborn should theoretically do fantastic here. Just do great overall against demon factions. Fantastic unit in these matchups. Solid AP, really good bonus versus infantry, magical, and flaming attacks, unbreakable. And then they have physical resistance on top of that, plus their blazing body, which will go up to plus 25 melee damage reflection, and then more physical resistance on top of that. Plus fire resistance, which Khorne, some of the units have fire attacks. So we also have an Iron Demon, just a generic one. Going to be shooting those AP missiles with suppression. Pretty good at slowing down like Chaos Warhounds. See, as you can see, they were pretty slow on speed at 67, so very easily caught out with Wolf Raiders if need be. Yeah, AP should be great against any Chaos Warriors that are brought. More Fireborn as well, and we see some sneaky plays by Berserk, some Chaos Warhounds going around the flanks, keeping those dual weapons in the forest to mitigate any potential damage from, say, an Iron Demon or archers. But right off the bat, the Chaos Warhounds get a charge into Goblin Laborers. Not going to do a whole lot of damage though. A breath attack coming in there on the Fireborn doesn't do too much, considering that they have fire resistance at 35%, and overall it kind of just flew over them. That's my main problem with ground units. They always like breathe over their target. So it didn't do too much, even if it wasn't for the fire resistance. But yeah, the Chaos Warhounds, Chaos Warhounds are going to dip out of there. Just mostly just playing the skirmishing game a little bit, poking and prodding here from the Khorne player. Do have some Chaos Warhounds in the back line, just fishing for any opportunity to maybe jump on a artillery piece that gets summoned out. But Opal Bear Black takes the opportunity, shuts down those Warhounds with a nice sneaky little Hobgoblin Wolf Raider. Point 3 being taken by the Chaos Dwarf. The home point taken by them as well. Point 2 And point 1 should be under their control here soon as well, in case they, in case Berserk doesn't challenge it. Some Marauder Horsemen, some Throwing Axes being sent in. Going to get a lot of value off the Fireborn and the Iron Demon if they get the opportunity to. But they are starting to dip away, seeing those guys summoned in. So, got to be careful there. Opal Bear Black being wary of any opportunity to give any Berserk any value. Point 3 is pretty held down by the Chaos Dwarves. Got a whole bunch of Goblins and Dwarven units, plus some Fireborn sitting idly by. Throwing Axes continue to chase away at the Fireborn, but there can only be so much they chase, as there's some infantry to screen them out. Going to be sent into melee into the Goblin Laborers, who are braced, who do have spears, but they don't have anti-large. So, unluckily for them, you won't get too much damage on them. And Horsemen are actually pretty good in melee, with 32-21 with bonus for infantry at 44 weapon strength. So, you know, they're no pushovers. They can beat down some Goblin Laborers if given the chance, but you don't want them to. They don't want them to lose any models, lose any Throwing Axes. So overall, points in the lead here for Berserk at 307, but we'll slowly catch up from Opal Bear Black as he has both points advantage at the moment. Point 1 was slightly being close to being taken by the Chaos Dwarves, but Berserk screening them out away with some Throwing Axes and Scarbrand, keeping a lot of their infantry back for that old Tim the Wilder or own goal play, holding everything back for ultimately a push in at a certain point in the game. Who knows when that will be? Berserk saving a ton of points at 3,200 right now. That's the thing. That's why I call Berserk a wild card. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what they're going to do with their plays. Some games they're going to do some insane stuff that you would not expect. But yeah, just more and more infantry being called out. That's one of the ways that the Khorne can win here, is just swarming the Chaos Dwarves. Because Chaos Dwarves have to rely on their somewhat expensive Chaos Dwarf warriors who don't trade that well into other infantry. They just hold. And don't hold well enough for their cost. So, but they hold enough, but they're very expensive. So you gotta surround them, outvalue the Chaos Dwarves in terms of infantry. And that is one of the ways the Khorne can win that. Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders caught out there by a rage there from Scarbrand, very nicely caught. But they immediately come back, rebounding back. That was a lot faster than I expected with their leadership. But we do lose Goblin Labor here. Berserk just slowly picking away at pieces that they can grab at. Just like grabbing a piece of fry here, grabbing a little fry there, grabbing a little snack there, some popcorn there, just picking whatever they can, just slowly poking and prodding, slowly whittling away at what the Chaos Dwarf player has. But it gives Opal Bear Black time to slowly reinforce their lines with even more Chaos Dwarf warriors, some range components, give the player time to respond to whatever you throw at them. So there's a little bit of advantage. There's give and take there for this tactic. Minos being summoned in here, gonna do some pretty good work into Drazhelwith or into the Iron Demon, which now there's 2 of them, which can be pretty hard to deal with for Khorne. You can only have 1 Scarbrand on the field. You don't have a you don't have a Karanak, and you only have 1 Minotaur, so it can be pretty scary. We do have some Blood Beasts of Khorne here. Going to do some fantastic AP into the Chaos Dwarf warriors. Finally, Berserk is starting to push out of the force, and these Blood Beasts should make good work of the Chaos Dwarf warriors if they aren't under fire from any cheap missiles like Hobgoblin Archers, which would be great here theoretically with 40 armor from the Blood Beasts. Another catch there from the Khorne player. Berserk doing incredibly well, picking away at what the Khorne player or the Chaos Dwarf player has, trying to like limit the mobility from the Chaos Dwarfs. They're constantly losing their Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. That means they can't challenge the mobility of the Khorne side. So giving the Khorne the advantage over these points, you're going to sneak around. But we do have some more Wolf Raiders coming in. Drazhel's coming in as well. Flames of Asgore possibly going down there. Might not catch too much. Does a little damage to Minos and to Scarbrand, but luckily Berserk catches on very quickly and jumps away from that opportunity. Ooh, this might be a really good catch there for the Corn player. Oh, that's really bad, losing that Fireborn. Very expensive unit, being caught out by an anti-large Mino and some Flesh Hounds plus Warhounds and Scarbrand. So very good value-wise for Berserk there at 30-45 up against 24-30. Berserk just playing incredibly well, snipping at the heels of Opera Black. But over here, Iron Demon's doing pretty okay so far. Blood Beasts getting some pretty good value off them, though, once they actually get a hit. But the Iron Demon has a lot of mass. They can push through and surround. Speaking of, Karanak being summoned in, does have that net, possibly, that he gets brought with. Yet, pray the Blood God, be able to catch one of them out and get a nice round with the Blood Beast given the chance. Iron Demon surrounded by Blood Beast. We'll see how that goes. Drazov jumping down on the Bloodletters, who do get summoned out here. I'm going to get some very good value against any of the Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Absolutely slaughter them, in fact. But Drazov, who is here, can do some pretty good work here. A nice Flames of Asgore would do fantastic there. He did get rampaged there by Scarbrand. I'm surprised Scarbrand didn't turn around to take the opportunity to catch out Drazov and possibly kill him. But probably easier said than done when your Minos are off elsewhere. Minos being routed away by the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, presumably. I'm not sure what else could have got them there. We do also have some Infernal Iron Sworn. With their magical attacks, they should do okay into the infantry of Khorne, but Bloodletters with their anti-infantry and AP would trade well into them as well. But those blasting charges do fantastic damage if they're given an opportunity. Kadai Fireborn getting some insane value off the Bloodletters. What are they at right now? At 97 kills, 647 value. Iron Demon continuing to push in, going to make their way to point 1. Scarbrand trying to hold them off. Same with the Marauders of Khorne with dual weapons. We have some Marauders being unsummoned, some more Warhounds. Minos coming back. Point 2 still under the hands of the Chaos Dwarves, but some sneaky Flesh Hounds trying to keep them, trying to press a little advantage on there. A nice little Sword of Khorne crushing those Infernal Ironsworn, doing some pretty good damage there. Now with more Flesh Hounds coming over, they're starting to tip the cap weight. Same with some Bloodletters and dual weapons. Going to be pretty scary for the Infernal Ironsworn. Probably going to need some more infantry being sent in, but Berserk is being very, very obnoxious with these little hounds being sent into the back line of the Chaos Dwarf, stopping any possible reinforcements. What you got to do is go around them, but the issue is it's very hard to with Berserk stretching your micro so hard. Berserk is not an easy player to play against. Karanak doing pretty well here, pretty much just being a pest, just being a little bee, buzzing in your ear, a little fly in your ear, constantly chipping away with their magical attacks will mitigate some of that fire resistance or physical resistance of the Kadai Fireborn. Iron Demon's doing pretty good here. Nice little charge there on the dual weapons. No longer having any more ammo on this one. The other one, did it get shut down? I think it might have gotten shut down, which would have been a nice catch there for Khorne. But Fireborn still doing good here. Another breath attack coming in there on the Infernal Ironsworn, doing some pretty solid damage. Scarbrand just reigning free throughout this game. There's got to be an opportunity where Scarbrand has to be caught out. But instead, Drazov might just get caught out here with the Prey of the Blood God. Scarbrand getting some really good solid damage into Drazov. And Wounded Prey, minus my 5 melee defense, and then Vigor being reduced as well. This could be the end for the Chaos Dwarf player if Drazov gets caught out here. Furies surrounding Drazov, almost getting close to getting caught in the air, but Rampage coming in there from Scarbrand, and I think that is it. That is probably going to spell the end for the Chaos Dwarves as Drazov gets sent back to the Chaos Dwarf, the Dowie lands. Unfortunately for him, Scarbrand is reigning supreme this day. Point 3 is still being held onto by Chaos Dwarves, of course. Same with nope, point 2 actually gets taken by Khorne. So, point lead here, and Drazov finished off. That's the one issue with Drazov. He has no healing. Well, to be fair, Source of Prophet wouldn't have any healing here either because there's no spells being casted by the Khorne side. So, but he's still fairly expensive, and if you're not taking the opportunity to jump on, like, say, Karanak with Drazov, then You're not going to get much value from him. Flames of Asgore as well haven't been getting too much value either, as Berserk has been noticing them, noticing those cheeky little spells. Iron Demon caught out there by Scarbrand. That is going to be a lot of value lost there by the Chaos Dwarf player. Scarbrand just getting cheeky hits here. Every hit doing such good damage with that heavy AP, those heavy AP hits. I shouldn't write out the Chaos Dwarf player too much here, but it is a 3-point lead now from the Khorne side, and there's not much left besides scattered remains from the Chaos Dwarves. Iron Demon practically on its last legs here at 860, and the Minos might just finish it off. Pretty dominant fight here from Khorne. Berserk takes the win. Another win under their belt at 8 wins. The resolution is kind of low now, not 1080p as YouTube is indicating. Interesting. I wonder why. Is it just like blurry from like maybe I'll have to check that later. Presumably let me check. I'll deal with it later, but thank you for letting me know. What is it? Is like blurry or fuzzy? 2833 from Scarbrand. Doing pretty good there. Everything else, nothing too fancy. 1236 there on Karanak. Very good choice to bring him out. Gonna do some good work with that net and chipping away with that those magical attacks against the demon trains. 619 for 68, 1022 on the Furies. Thornaxes did fantastic. 1132 on the Bloodletters, tearing apart the Chaos Dwarf Warriors. And 1519 on Minos. Trazov did 2183. I think paid for himself. Pretty expensive, this guy, with his mount at like 20 something, 2000 something maybe, or 1800. Could be wrong, but very, very expensive. Everything else, unfortunately, Fireborn had a tough time. 1199 though here on the Iron Demon. Theoretically, you'd want the Fireborn into like demonic units, but Berserk didn't bring many demonic units. They only brought a single one. Even then, they could still do fantastic into Marauders, but with the Throwing Axes and with the Blood Beasts, they had a pretty tough time. These other ones, great though. 1588 and 877. Infernal Ironborn unfortunately got picked apart. Really nice breath attacks from Scarbrand. Really, really good Sword of Khorne. That was fantastic. Tore them apart. Fireglaves had a struggle as well. And the Iron Demons, heavy cost investments. Only one doing well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Congrats to Berserk for another tournament win there. And congrats, well played to everybody today for to whoever played in the tournament. Once again, thank you guys for playing. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the stream, if you guys enjoyed the tournament, my casting, my plays, anything at all, leave me a like or subscribe. I would appreciate that. It would let me know how well I'm doing. But otherwise, hope to see you guys again at my next tournament. Maybe in a following tournament from Anticity or something. But I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Jared, as always, for hanging out. But yeah, if there's any feedback on the stream, do let me know. If it is a little bit blurry, I'll try to spreading that out. I don't have probably as beefy as a computer at turn, but I'll see what I can do. Thank you guys. Hope you guys all have a good one. A good rest of your week. Maybe host another tournament on Friday. Who knows? I'll let you know. See you guys. Have a good one. Gonna go eat. Bye-bye.